This is a video review of the Dewalt impact driver 20 volt that comes with the 5-piece 20 volt Dewalt set. The serial number on this one is DCF885. So you can see I already have it set up with the battery. I have a battery on one bar, but that shouldn't affect us. I've been able to work all the way through these batteries right down to the very bottom without really seeing any impact on terms of the performance. I have the Torx head driver on here, and I have several screws set up here that I'd like to test out. The first one is a 3-inch long stainless steel Torx head screw, and I'm going to try to drive it through two pieces of 2x pine. Pine is pretty soft, shouldn't have any trouble with this, but it should give you the feel for when these guys start to cause the impact driver to skip, and you could hear it starting to skip about 2/3 of the way down through the screw. And I have it all the way down flush into these two boards now. So that's all the way 3 inches in. And I have this clamped down here, so I'm going to clamp on the other side here. Like I said, I have a piece of oak on this side. A little bit harder, not quite as thick, so I'm going to screw through the oak into the pine underneath. I'm going to use a shorter screw, so I'm not going all the way down into my workbench. As you can see, it really wouldn't matter. The workbench is in really rough shape, but no need to beat it up unnecessarily. And I'm going to have to also switch my head here because these shorter screws, as it happens, are, and you can see, you have to pull out here on this to remove this piece. I have a bunch of different drivers over here, so I'll grab the square head and push this in. I'll also show you while I have this, while the 3 lights are on, you can see just how bright these 3 LED lights are. Okay, and now putting in a new bit is just like that, just like all of the impact drivers. You don't even really need to pull it out to push it in. Once it's pushed in, it latches and it's solid. As you can see before, I was using a adjustable, an extender, and that allows me to pop it in and out and pop these different bits on. That's no big deal. That's really neither here nor there. But that's what I was using before. Now I'm putting the bit directly into there. And now I'm going to drive this shorter screw here through oak. Both of these are self-tapping stainless steel screws. No problem at all getting through the oak. And that was a pretty thin piece of oak. It was only less than a 1x, I'd say. Didn't measure it. But as you can see, no problem. You can hear it again, skipping over a little bit. And yeah, I'll drive one of these through the pine as well, just so you can hear it one more time. It should be a lot less skipping with the pine. Yeah, sure enough. And just for thoroughness here, I'm also going to do a little hole screwing. This is actually a countersink. But it's sort of a nice example, because as you can see, it gets fatter as it gets down toward the base, and then it countersinks on the bottom here. So it'd just be a nice example of showing how this thing powers through these different holes it can make as well. Yeah, okay, all the way down to a nice countersunk hole here for a really big screw, and it'll do the same over here on this piece of oak. Skipping at all in either of those. It had no trouble with drilling holes. It doesn't take as much force, and there's not as much resistance within the wood because this is designed to bore. And these are actually really nice countersinks right here. So anyway, that's all for now. That's really all the features. The only other thing I haven't shown you is very obvious: the in and out and the trigger. So everything else here is really standard. It's a good tool. Actually sort of become my go-to drill. I really like this for quick work driving. You could hear how it does skip a little bit as it drives screws in, but that's actually really good. It allows you to get some good feedback on how much resistance there is going into the wood. It's got a really nice balance, centers over the trigger very nicely, and that small battery on the bottom really brings the weight down. This is really easy to handle, move around, used in any different direction, upside down, whatever else. And those lights, those are just great if you're working in any sort of limited light conditions. Great tool, really happy with it. That's all for now. Thank you.